Hey y'all, listen, go outside with me today. I thought what we would do is plant some camellias, or we're going to root them, let's put it that way. This is a good time of the year to do it, anytime before like spring. So if you could do it in January, February, March, you're getting a little bit on the late side, but we could do it then. So what you're going to need is some clippers, a good sharp knife, and we're going to go to my camellia bushes. So if you've got a friend with camellias, well, you need to pay them a visit. Mine don't look real good now, and the reason is because the cold killed all my blooms. See, here's my pink one, and it's supposed to be real pretty, and it's not. See there? It's just, look at all the ants on that thing. I guess they're getting the honey off of it. I don't know. I never have liked this bush because this doesn't look healthy. It's never done well. But now these out here have always done well. So let's go ahead and we're going to cut the one. See how the cold has hurt this one? Look at that. See all that? It gave it frostbite or whatever. They don't look as pretty as they need to be. What you want to do is find you a limb that looks healthy, and this one does. That's a healthy looking limb right there. And it's got some growth buds coming out the top of it. Let me show you that. See that little thing right there? That little bud. Let me see if I can fix it for you. It's hard to do this with one, just me. Some people have videographers that go around with them. I don't have anybody. All right, look at this. Now then you can see it. See that little thing right there? That's your little, where it's going to grow. And you want to make sure that one of those is on there. So what you do is this. You cut it off about 6 inches long. Doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm going to cut it with my clippers. You can cut it straight across or sideways, either one you want to do it. All right, that we got to clip it off of that one. Okay, let's get a clipping off of this one. Find one. It doesn't have to have a bloom on it. I actually prefer if you find one that looks healthy without a bloom, like that one. That's a good looking one right there. Good looking limb. It looks healthy. It's got a nice little growth thing right there. So let's cut it off about 6 inches. Okay, we got that one. All right, we've got 2 of my camellias. And they're going to turn out to look like this one right there. That's what that bush. All right, so I've got another bush down this way. Come on. Let's walk down here, and we'll get one off of it. Now, this one is more like a double. See what it's supposed to look like. See, it's got all those little petals in it. That's one the cold killed right there. So I'm looking for a healthy limb. Y'all help me look. One that's got the little growth thing out on it. This one looks healthy right there. I think I'll cut it. Let me get up here to it and cut it off. It's fixing to rain. That's why I'm trying to get inside quick as possible. All right, let me get it. All right, now let's see what else we've got. These are over here. They haven't opened up yet. This is a little bush. It's a new one that I got. It's kind of a variegated pink. So let me see what I can find on here. I'll get this limb right here. Let's see. Well, let me see what I've got. Here's a good one right here. I'll cut this one. Even though a bug's been eating that, the growth part looks good. So I'll cut it off. And let's get one from this one right over here. This is another kind right here. And it's got several buds on it, but I don't want to cut off the one with buds. I want them to bloom. I'll cut off this one right here. All right, we've got enough. Now let's get up all we've got. We're gonna go under the porch, and I'm fixing to show you what to do next. Let me get these up off the ground. pile them up right here. Okay. Come on. It's fixing to rain. Oh, we got to get inside. Let's go over here and look at our collards while we're outside. You know, I planted just that old collard stalk. Let's see what's happening. Ooh, it's looking good. I just planted a plain old stalk. I need to eat these. Look at that. Look at that, how pretty. Let me move this off of it. See there? Can y'all see that collard? All I did was put down a old stalk. Didn't have a thing on it. This is where I cut back my boxwood and put it in here. And some of it made it, and some of it didn't. Like that one didn't make it. So when you're trying to root boxwood, you need to put a bunch of them in there so to make sure you get some, because every single one of them won't make, okay? But these look good. They'll be ready to give away. Okay, let me get this up. We're fixed to go do this. All right, we got sidetracked, didn't we? We got sidetracked. And there's a rose bush over there. I need to be cutting it back. This is what the cold did to my boxwood. Look at that. It froze all the new growth on it. I think I'm going to have to go get the oatmeal box and sit y'all down on the porch with me so we can get this done. I'll put it right here. Now I'm going to go get the oatmeal box, and we're going to come out here and I'll show you what to do to these camellia limbs. So just about any of your things can root. Hydrangea, boxwood, any of your bushes or flowering bushes. Azaleas. Where's my oatmeal box? Here it is. You just have to cut it so that there's a node. And I'm going to show you about the node in just a second if I can get you out here on the porch with me. I'm going to show you where to plant it too. Okay. Let me get you in your stand. And we are going to have a lesson. I'm going to turn you around this way. I hadn't been with you in a day or two because I've been so busy I can't cook every day. So anyway, let's get busy with this. Okay, y'all, are you ready for your lesson? Here we go. Now, almost everything in your yard can root. So, here is our camellia. Here's what you want to do. I've cut it off nice and, I cut mine at a slant, but you can cut it either way. Pull off the leaves. Don't cut them off, just pull them off like that. And only leave 2 leaves on this stem, the top 2. Make sure that you don't accidentally pull off that growth ring right there. That little growth. That's your new growth right there. All right, every one of these places right here are called nodes. It's where the leaf came out. There's a node. There's one right there on that side. There's one. You have to have nodes underneath the dirt. So I've got one ready, okay? Let's do one more just to let you see. All right, we're going to pull off all the leaves, except the top 2, even though they're kind of ragged looking. There's our little growth thing right there. That's a little bud coming out and going to make a, bigger plant. It's about as long as my hand right there. See, so you kind of know. And this has got some real healthy looking nodes on it. See them all right here? Okay, let me finish these real quick, and then we're going to go plant them. And I'm going to show y'all some more plants also and where to plant these. This one's a lucky one. Look, it's got 3 growth rings on it, growth little bud things on it, and a bunch of nodes down under here. That's a good one. Okay. Pull these off. If you've got a stem that's coming out like this one does right here, I suggest just go ahead and pull that off. It can't handle it. It's got to not have many leaves on it. Okay. what George used to do over at his mother's house. This was too short. I'm going to leave one leaf on it. I cut it too short, I guess. Oh, no, that's the one I just pulled off. It's got one node, so, and a growth thing, so I'm going to plant it. I mean, heck, it may grow. All the camellias that are over at Kyle and Susan's house, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, they bought, after Papa and them died, they bought that house over there, an old house. And George Gant, my husband, was the middle child, and he was the gardener of all the children. He was the one that liked gardening. And he rooted just about every camellia that's over there. Granny would go out to somebody's house and they'd have a camellia bush, and she'd just ask for about 3 or 4 cuttings, which they didn't care. And your people don't care either. And he would come back and do this. Then he'd get his knife and wiggle it down in the dirt and put it real deep in the dirt with just all that, with just that little bit, maybe an inch or two sticking up. And he would put a fruit jar over it and do the fruit jar around like that. Well, that fruit jar worked like a little greenhouse. And they left the camellia where he had it planted. In other words, he didn't take it to a rooting bed. He just planted it wherever he wanted a camellia to grow, put his jar over it, and that jar would sweat in there, condensate, and it watered that area. Now, I've never done that, but that's how he did it. Okay, here's you a azalea that I just cut off. So on an azalea, it's harder to root them, but this does have one little node right there, and I think most of the roots are going to come out there. We're going to try it. Here's the boxwood. I just cut it off of my bush. I want to pull off every one of these leaves down here, just like that. And I'm going to pull off maybe one of these. Like that. I'm going to leave it just like that. That's how I did those other boxwood that you saw in that planter back there. I'm rooting those. Here is a piece of, this is verbena. Y'all remember a long time ago when my mother had verbena growing on either side of her sidewalk going to the house. Well, all the verbena that you buy today is some kind of, I don't know, they've done something to it. Let me put it that way, like they have all the food and everything else. Changed it from the original. This one right here is purple, bright purple. And it's old-timey. That means it is, let me take you out here and I'll show you something. It is in this pot right here. That's all I've got left of it, this right here. And do you see that the cold hadn't hurt it? It turned it a little bit dark, but it has not hurt it. And there's new buds coming out right there. This is a piece right here that fell down, and it's trying to go down there to that dirt to root. You can hardly find this anymore. And I've had this for several years, but in the summer when it got so hot, I like to lost it all. But anyway. All right, so here's your verbena. You see that node right there? I mean, where all the leaves are coming out and there's a little new thing. Pull that off. I know you hate to, but you got to. Or peach this off. And I'm going to peach the next one off. And the next one. I'm going to be careful with this because this got a softer. All right, so now then I've got this little part left. And it's got several little nodes on it, 2 of it. And I'm going to put this in the dirt up to there. And it is going to root. And then I can put it in a pot. And after it blooms, I can peach that off and root it. And then root it. And then root it. And finally, you got a big pot of it. I tell you, the stuff that I've got in my yard, I can almost tell you where all of it came from. Because people gave me cuttings. So we call them cuttings. And you just root it. It's like this over here. Come over here, I'll show you this. This is we call it a hen and biddy, and I know I've shown it to you before. This That's the hen, and then you have little things that fall off, and they're the biddies. This has been out here in this cold, cold weather, and it still looks just like it does. All you do is this. You come to a piece of it and break it off like that. See how I just broke it off of that plant right there? And all we're going to do is stick this down in the dirt, and it will grow. You just stick it down, and it'll grow. You hadn't got anything to lose. Now, most of your plants, I know you don't want to cut them back when you buy something, but a lot of them do better because they branch out then. All right, now we're going to go plant these, and I'm going to show you where to plant them, in case you're wondering. Let me get this off. Let me get you off your stand. Y'all going to have to walk around. I wish y'all were here with me so we could do it right. All right, what we're going to do, I have a air-conditioned heat pump. And if you do, if part of it's up in the attic, if you're on a slab like me, you have these two little pipes that come out of your roof up there that drip. All right, let me see if I can find it. All right, you see those two little things right there? Let me see if I can see if you're seeing it. Yeah, you're seeing it. See there? Those two things right there, those little pipe-looking things. Well, in the summertime, the air condition pulls moisture out of your house. It pulls it out, and it drips right here on the ground. What a perfect rooting area. It's over here behind my shrubs. Nobody sees it. And what happens is that thing keeps the ground right here wet all the time. It's perfect for rooting. So if you go on a trip, you leave your air conditioner on all day, it's going to drip all day. So look back here at this mess. I mean, look at that. I got pots back here, and these are some camellias that I'm rooting right here. Do y'all see that little spot? And I put them right under that drip pipe up there. Okay, so let's plant these. So here's how I do it. I'm going to see if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it with y'all or not. I'm going to pull back some leaves like that. And there's me a spot. Okay, now take your knife and jab it down in there. Can y'all? I got you upside down, everything else. You got that, and then doodle it around a little bit. Pull it out. Sometimes you can put two camellias in one spot. All right, take your camellia. There's that one that just had a little bit of leaf, and put it right there. We'll take this one, stick it in right here, and take your finger and push that dirt down so no air gets in it. All right, let's do another one. And we're going to take a camellia, stick it down good now. Don't just leave it stuck up in the air, because it's going to root where we've got it doing. Cut. Push that down. Now let's do our camellia. Push it down real good. Push it way down. Okay. Now let's do our verbena. Let's get us a spot right here maybe. We'll come back out here in early spring to look and see what it's doing. Push that down. Okay, now I got one more camellia. We'll stick it in with that other. Now here is that little hen and biddy. So I'm going to make a little spot right here for it. Push it down. I didn't dig it deep enough. I might have too long of a stalk on it. I've got a little shovel thing, but when you're doing this, you want a knife, because you don't want to shovel it all up. You just want a hole. Push it way down. Push that down. We got that planted, and we got one thing left. The boxwood. Let's see if we can just put him in here. Okay. Now. Woo! I need my hat on, I reckon, but today wasn't sunny, so I didn't want to wear it. It got warm out here on us today. It's kind of close to the 70s. I don't know where the cold weather went, but it left. I'm going to wipe my knife off out here. Anyway, that's how you do it. Like I say, there's just nothing to it, y'all. There is nothing to it. And you can root it. And let's say you plant, maybe 7 or 8 camellias that you got from different people. Well, if they've got 3 bushes, you need to at least get 3 or 4 pieces off of each bush. And this is the reason. Every one that you try to root is not going to root. The success rate is not 100%. And that is why you want to get several cuttings. Don't just get one, get several. And that way you're more assured of having a good harvest, so to speak. You do roses the same way. Cut off about a 6-inch strip. Take the lower leaves off. Put it where you're going to put it, and root it. And root it. You can root in a pot. You can root in the ground. But I will say this, you cannot let it dry out. You have got to keep it moist. Not wet, but moist. You do not have to use Rootone or any kind of agent to help you root. Most of the time it'll just root just like it is. And I've been rooting for years and years. Hydrangea, same way. Same way. Cut off a limb that doesn't have a bloom on it and go ahead and stick it down. I think I'd wait a little bit on it. I'd wait some on it. But these, I'm just going to go ahead and stick down. So that's how you root things. And, I mean, and your bulbs, you can divide those, Dig them up from time to time and pull them apart and then replant them, and you'll have more bulbs. They make babies under the dirt. So that's how you do it. I'm going to go in. I've got me something in the oven I'm cooking. And, well, actually, it's leftover. It's a stuffed butternut squash is what I'm doing. And I had it the other day, and I had one left over. So I got it in foil and put it on 400 degrees, and I'm going to heat it up. I don't like to heat stuff in the microwave unless I have to. It changes the texture or something. I don't know. I don't like it. And I certainly don't put bread in the microwave because that really messes up biscuits. And that's about all I had to say today. Other than a lot of y'all write in and you say, you're showing this, that, and the other, and I like the cooking. Well, I like to cook too, but I have a life. And rooting things and growing things and cleaning up my yard and doing crafts and doing church stuff is part of it. And line dancing and stuff. And going out with the girlfriends. I do other things. So I'm just not going to stand in the kitchen and cook all day for y'all. I mean, I'll show you recipes and I'm going to cook and I'm going to eat because I like to. But I've got other things I do too. And you do too. If you're standing in the kitchen cooking all the time, then you need to get some more interest going. So, if you want to watch me, then know this. I'm not going to be doing the same thing every day. I like to venture out and do different stuff. I like to go places and see people and get out in the yard and rake and clean and get dirty and root. And I like to dance and I like to go to church. I went to church last night. We had Bible study and a meal. And what we had last night, oh, y'all, it was so good. We had pulled pork. Now, that's when you cook a Boston butt real slow. You could smoke it or cook it in the crock pot or oven or whatever. Then you get 2 forks and you shred it and you pull it all apart. So they had pulled pork with your hot dog buns. And you made your own sandwich. And they had 2 big old bowls of barbecue sauce. It was a sweet kind. And they had a big slaw. It was good. It was mayonnaise-based instead of vinegar-based, and I like it. I like mayonnaise, you know that. And then, what else we had? Oh, baked beans. We had baked beans and apple cobbler. So that's what we had. And coffee and tea, lemonade and water, whatever you wanted. I drank coffee and water. That's what I drank. I didn't drink much coffee because it was caffeinated and it was at night. And I thought, man, I can't. I'm afraid I'll be up all night. So I only drank a half a cup. I fixed me half a cup. Anyway, that's what's going on in my life today. And it's gray and muggy outside. Dallas called this morning, said it was pouring down rain in Tuscaloosa. So I think it rained yesterday too on him. Yeah, it did. It rained real bad in Tuscaloosa yesterday. They have more rain around that area, and I don't know why it is, but Tuscaloosa is a rainy spot. All right, y'all, I love you. You hadn't got a thing to lose. You're not, just because you go outside and cut off a rose or cut off a boxwood or whatever, you hadn't lost any money. And you can root and get new plants. Go to your friend's house. Tell her you want to do a cutting day. And you're going to go out there and cut a bunch of her stuff. Hey, I don't mind asking people for something I need. I mean, they're glad to give it to you. I mean, you know, what have they got to lose? Nothing. All right, y'all, take care. Do something fun today. Root you something, or go see somebody, or cook you something that you never cooked before, or do something. And have a great day, and may God bless each and every one of you. I hope that you're his child. That's what I hope. Love y'all. Bye-bye.